Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. For he who promised is faithful. Amen. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 23. Hebrews 10 verse 23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. For he who promised is faithful. Hebrews 10 verse 23. Amen.
Hebrews chapter 10 verse 23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 23. Amen.
Hebrews 10 verse 23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Hebrews 10 verse 23. Hebrews 10 verse 23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Hebrews 10 verse 23.
Happy morning, CBCI Kids! Tayo ngayon ay nasa panibagong episode na naman ng ating CBCI TV Kids. Yay! Ang episode natin ngayon ay patungkol pa din sa Women of the Bible. Excited na ba kayo, kids, kung sino ang bida sa ating Bible story ngayon? Tiyak na matututo at mag-enjoy muli tayo sa mga aralin at kwentong kapupulutan natin ng aral at magagandang karanasan. Kaya naman i-comment nyo nga down below, kids, sa ating comment section ang inyong buong pangalan at lagyan ito ng present para malaman namin kung sino-sino ang kasama namin ngayong episode. Welcome muli kayo sa CBCI TV Kids, and of course, mas welcome natin ang ating mga bisita o invite sa araw na ito. Connect with us gamit ang hashtag CBCI TV Kids at hashtag BraveMother para sa episode natin ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-visit at i-share ang bawat episode o live stream ng ating CBCI page. Stay tuned, kids! Enjoy!
The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. 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 And the joy of the Lord is my strength. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. And the joy of the Lord is my strength.
The people of Israel were moving towards the promised land of Canaan for 40 long years. So, God's order to Joshua was to first bring the people to the promised land and capture the city of Jericho. Following God's orders, Joshua sent 2 spies to check everything about the city. The spies crept into the city, thinking that no one saw them, and went to the home of a woman called Rahab, who did not serve God. However, there were some people who saw the spies sneaking in, and they went and informed the king. The king immediately sent a message to Rahab, asking her to bring the 2 men who were hiding in her house. Rahab knew that the king might ask her to do this, so she hid the 2 spies on her rooftop under some stalks of flax, so that even if the king's men went to her rooftop looking for them, they would not find them. Rahab immediately responded to the king's message and said,
Yes, those 2 men were here, but I did not know they were spies. They left the city at sunset when the city gates were closing. I don't know where they went, but if you send your men now, you may find them.
So the king's soldiers rushed through the city gates to look for the 2 spies. After the king's men left, Rahab went to her rooftop to talk to the spies.
I know God has given you this land and you will capture the city. We know how God parted the Red Sea to get your people through it and then crashed it down on the Egyptian army. We have heard the stories of how God protected you. The people of Jericho are terrified of you. I request you to show kindness to me and my family and protect us when you people come to capture the city, since I protected you. Give me a sign so that I know I can trust you.
The spies promised to honor her kindness and spare her and her family. Rahab used a rope to help the men out of the city gates through her window. She asked them to hide behind the nearby hills for 3 days and then go back to Joshua and the rest of the Israelites once the king's men stopped searching for them. Before they left, the spies said,
Hang a red cord on your window so that we know your house when we come to take Jericho. Do not let any of your family members get out into the street when we come to take the city. We cannot promise their safety.
Rahab agreed and hung a red cord on her window right away. The 2 men hid in the hills for 3 days and then went back to Joshua to report about the city. They said,
We can take Jericho. God has promised that land to us, and the people there are scared of us because of him.
Wow! Ang ganda naman ng ating Bible story today. Tiyak ay marami kayong naiisip at gustong i-share kung ano ang natutunan nyo. Kaya kids, maaari bang i-comment nyo sa ating comment section ang inyong mga natutunan. Okay, meron kayong 1 minuto para mag-reflect at mag-comment. Let's go, kids! Katulad ng bida sa ating Bible story, ay patuloy siyang nanampalataya at nagtiwala sa Panginoon na saan man siya pumunta at ano ang kanyang gawin, ay ingatan at paprotektahan siya ng Panginoon laban sa kanyang mga kaaway. Kaya naman natutunan niya na ang pagsunod sa Panginoon ay ang susi upang magbago ang ating buhay. God judges us differently than people judge us.
Hello kids! Para naman sa ating Memory Verse Challenge, kopyahin or screenshot ang memory verse na nakapost sa inyong screen, i-memorize or kabisaduhin, i-recite habang naka-video, at huwag kalimutang isend kay teacher o kaya naman ay pwede nyo ring i-post sa inyong Facebook account. Huwag kalilimutan ang ating official hashtag for today's episode. Romans 2:6, God will repay each person according to what they have done.
Para sa ating arts and craft, gagawa tayo ng scarlet cord bracelet. Ang kailangan natin, isang 70 centimeters at isang 120 centimeters na scarlet cord o string. Simulan natin sa ating 70 centimeters na cord. Magli-leave muna tayo ng 20 centimeters. Pagkatapos ay kukuha tayo ng clip o kahit anong ipit at ikakabit natin ito sa isang board para mas madali natin itong malagyan ng disenyo. Maaari din tayong magpatulong kila Mami sa paghawak ng ating string. Ngayon naman, kuhanin natin ang ating 120 cm na string at i-fold ito ng kaunti katulad nito. Pagkatapos, ay ibubuhol muna natin ito sa ating unang string. Katulad nito. Ngayon naman ay gagawa tayo ng pattern. Una muna ay sa ibabaw ng ating first string. At ibubuhol lang natin ito. Pagkatapos ay sa ilalim naman ng ating first string. Ibubuhol lang din natin ito. Pagkatapos ay sa ibabaw ulit. At sa ilalim. Uulitin lang natin ito ng maraming beses hanggang sa maabot natin ang 16 cm o sa gusto nating haba ng ating gagawing scarlet cord bracelet. Ayan. Kapag tapos na tayo ay maaari nating gupitin ang mga sobrang string. Ngayon naman kumuha tayo ng isang straw at gugupit tayo ng maliit na straw tube. Gagamitin natin ito sa paggawa ng lock sa ating bracelet. Isuot lang natin ang isang string. Pagkatapos ay ipantay ito sa kabilang string at iikot natin ng 5 beses sa ating straw tube. Sundan nyo lang ang ginagawa ko, kids. Ngayon naman, ay ilalagay natin or ipapasok natin ang isang string sa loob ng ating straw tube. At hihilahin lang natin ito. Ngayon naman ay tatanggalin na natin ang straw tube mula sa ating bracelet. Ganito dapat ang magiging itsura niya. Ayan. At para sa huling bahagi, ibubuhol natin ang magkabilang dulo ng ating string. Gagamit lang ulit tayo ng straw tube para mas maayos ang ating pagkakabuhol. Iikot lang natin ang unang string at ipapasok ito sa loob ng ating straw tube. Ayan. Ganoon din ang gagawin natin sa isa pa nating string. Maaari na natin gupitin ang mga sobrang string. Ayan, tapos na tayo. Meron na tayong scarlet cord bracelet. Huwag kalimutang i-post ang inyong mga artwork sa Facebook at gamitin ang ating hashtag CBCI TV Kids at hashtag Righteous Rahab.
Yay! Natapos na naman ang isang makabuluhan at masayang episode ng ating CBCI Kids. Nawa ay nag-enjoy kayo at natuto sa araw na ito. Let us pray. Lord, salamat po muli sa araw na ito, sa isang bago at natapos na episode na naman. Dalangin ko sa iyo sa aming natutunan, nawa ay patuloy na maisabuhay namin ito kahit kami ay mga bata pa. Marami pong salamat sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Samahan niyo kami muli sa mga susunod pang episode. Tuwing Sabado, 10 a.m. Anong oras ulit? Every Saturday. Very good, 10 a.m. Gumising tayo ng maaga, maghanda para matuto, at mag-enjoy. Huwag kalilimutan, patuloy tayong dumalo at sumuporta sa CBCI Kids at iba pang live stream ng CBCI page. Ayain din natin ang ating mga kaibigan o kapamilya para makasama din natin sila sa ating mga online school. See you ulit next week sa ating CBCI Kids On. Bye!
The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. 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 And the joy of the Lord is my strength. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. He gives me living water and I thirst no more. And the joy of the Lord is my strength.